Hi and welcome back. We are going to be discussing 10600 armor cable. So this, for those of you that are in your first year, second year, you'll just get a little bit of an idea of what this cable is like. Very good cable. It almost, well, it looks like non-metallic sheath cable in a way. Here's your internal conductors, except instead of having a non-metallic sheath on the exterior, it has a metal sheath made of aluminum. So it's a conductive sheath. Its uses are very similar to non-metallic sheath cable. However, there are a few little restrictions. We'll start off with 10600. And rules 12602 to 618 talk about armor cable installations. Their use. Armor cable shall be permitted to be installed in or on buildings or portion of buildings that are either combustible or non-combustible. So for example, combustible construction would be your wood frame. Non-combustible would be something made out of concrete. Now, armor cable shall be of the type listed in Table 19 as suitable for direct burial if used for underground runs, for circuits in masonry or concrete, provided that the cable is encased or embedded in at least 50 millimeters of concrete, in locations where it is exposed to weather, continuous moisture, excessive humidity, or to oils or other suitable substances having a deteriorating effect on the insulation. So keep in mind, when we talk about armor cable, it's not only this type of cable, but it also pertains to TEC and ACWU. Don't forget, those are armor cables, but they also have a plastic exterior jacket on it. So technically, armor cable like this is not permitted to be buried underground or buried in masonry, because the calcium in the concrete and the concrete mud will actually eat the aluminum. So be very careful. Use Table 19 to determine what use that cable is good for. So armor cable, AC90, just in itself, is only good for dry locations. Now, you can read subrule 3 yourself of 12602. 4, 5, and 6 you can read yourself. 12604, protection for armored cables in lanes. So for example, if subjected to mechanical damage unless otherwise protected, steel guards of not less than number 10 MSG adequately secured shall be installed to protect armor cables that are less than 2 meters above grade in lanes and driveways. So for example, if you had a piece of TEC or ACWU coming out of the ground and it's attached to a pole, you have to install some form of a pilaster to protect that cable from damage. Once again, AC90 is not permitted to be buried underground. Now, 12608, the continuity of armor cable. Armor cable shall be run in a manner such that the mechanical and electrical continuity of the armor is maintained throughout the run, and the armor of cables shall be mechanically and electrically secured to all equipment to which it is attached. So for example, in this situation, we have a twin connector, also known as the 2175. It enters into the box, the enclosure, and you have to install the lock nut. I'll get it one day. To ensure that the continuity of the armor is made to the connector and to the device box. You cannot leave this thing floating just like that. That is not permitted. Right? We're all professionals here. All right. Do it up tight. Make sure you hit it with your screwdriver just to lock that down a little more. So the continuity of the armor must be continuous. Nothing in free air. Next, 12.6.10, terminating armor cable. Where conductors issue from armor, and why they use that word I don't know, but the word issue means to exit. They shall be protected from abrasion by an insulating bushing or equivalent protection installed between the conductor and the armor. And what that is, let's see if we got any here. Let's see if we got any in, we don't have any in Harry's little work drawer. But I'll show you. You see that little red thing right in here? Or right in there? That little red thing is called an anti-short. That is put between the conductor, the paper and the armor to provide mechanical protection so the cable is not damaged over time. Now, subrule B, if you happen to have a piece of tech cable, and tech is copper, the inner jacket of the armor cable, provided that the inner jacket is left protruding a minimum 5 millimeters beyond the armor. So in tech cable, it actually has an interior rubber jacket. If you allow that tech cable to extend 5 millimeters within that box, that is considered providing adequate protection for these conductors. So that's in tech. I don't happen to have a piece here at the moment. All right, so you can read the rest of 12.6.10. Not too much knob and tube around, but it is in older homes, for example, New Westminster or older homes around the Lower Mainland. But be very careful if you're using knob and tube and non-metallic sheath cable systems with armor, because if you do happen to run the cable over top of each other, the armor cable will actually damage the non-metallic sheath cable. Next, 12.6.1.4. When you handle armor cable, you have to treat it with respect. You just can't bend it like that. That is not permitted. 12.6.1.4 talks about radii of bends in armor cable. And you are restricted to 6 times the external diameter for bends. So a bend like that is considered acceptable. But anything tighter than that, you will actually break the armor jacket. Something like that if you actually overbend it, and that is not permitted. All right. So be careful on the bending radius of these cables. Once again, in 12.6.1.6, be careful about concealed armor cable installations. Once again, if you are within 32 millimeters, just like on our non-metallic sheath cable example next door, if you're within 32 millimeters to the front edge of a member, in other words, a piece of wood, you must provide mechanical protection, such as a protection plate. And where is it? Last but not least, we did not talk about how to strap or secure this cable. If you actually read 12618, the code decides over time that why rewrite some of the rules? Why not tell you to go look for it someplace else? So running of cables between boxes, it states armor cable shall be supported between boxes and fittings in accordance with 12.5.10. So it's telling you to go back into the non-metallic sheath section, and this cable must be supported within 300 millimeters of a device box or a box, and then 1.5 meters thereafter. So if you're installing this within steel studs, the steel stud is considered a method of support. You don't have to support it. But however, if you are running it, for example, in this lab, parallel to the conduits, you have to support it at least every 5 feet or 1.5 meters. So that concludes armor cable. Like I said, it includes armor cable AC90, TEC, ACWU. Be very careful and make sure you read table 19 for further information. All right? Oh, one thing I forgot to tell you. The voltage rating on this conductor is good for 600 volts in comparison to non-metallic sheath cable, which is only rated for 300 volts. So there are some advantages and disadvantages here. Have yourselves a good day, and we'll see you in a moment.